Okay, today I started working on copying Belmont Wolf. There's his head and the body. What I did basically was I flipped that inside out and then I taped together pieces of paper for what I need to cut out. I have a big roll of blue fur there. Big roll, and then here's some white, off-white fur for the belly. Okay. And that's an arm there. So I hope this works out. This is the first time I've done this. And right now I'm just, double checking. Okay. Alright, I'm getting ready to mark the back of the fur to where I'm going to cut it. Now, I got these measurements from Belmont exactly, so I'm going to have to put out a little bit just so I can sew it, and then I trim off the extra. I try to lay it out in the corner to save space. To save fur. I don't want to have too much scrap. Okay. A trick that I learned for marking fur is to use a bar of soap. You can get it from hotels or at the store, but this is a new bar. You can use whatever you want, but I don't know if it'll work on this color because that matches pretty well, but I don't think this is going to work on this color of fur. Alright, since the soap doesn't work well on this color fabric because it's the same color, I found a graphite pencil that I think will work okay. It leaves a light line, and I don't think that's going to bleed out or anything. Okay, so I'm just going to trace this, and then I'll go to the next step. Alright, I've traced a line all the way around, about 1 inch away. Now I'm going to do this part, and for now these are the only 2 white pieces I'll need, but later on I'm going to need more. Alright, so I cut my first few pieces. So I start out with copying that onto paper, and then from paper I traced it out onto the fur, then I cut the fur out. And you can see they're flipped backwards here, but this piece is this piece, and that's that. Well, let's hope this works. Alright, here's my 5 yards of blue. It's very soft. I'm not sure if I'm going to need all 5 yards. I actually think it's a little too much, so maybe I'll make some more, like 2 or something. Okay, I'm going to figure out which way the fur goes in a second and start to trace my other pieces on the back. Alright. Okay, so I started laying this out here. One thing I need to tell you is the fur goes in one direction. If you try to rub it backwards, it doesn't look good, so be sure to lay your pieces the way you want them. This is going to be an arm, and that's where my hand will be, so I want the fur to go in that direction. I marked it because I forget. Alright, so the bar soap trick works really well on this color. You can see that. You can use it as a pencil, and then if you go to wash the fursuit, this just washes right out, and it won't bleed or anything like a permanent marker would do. Okay, I'm going to cut this piece now. Oh, these are the scissors I'm using. They're really good for cutting fur. They're very sharp. And spring-loaded. Okay, I just cut out the arm. Here it is right here. And it's close. I think it might be a little big, so I'm going to trim it down if it is. But I'm going to wait till I start putting it together. Because I did go an extra inch all the way around. So really it's adding 2 inches. I'm going to cut off some too, so I mean, if I sew in an inch, that would work. But so far it's going good. I was a little worried about cutting the fur, but now that I've done a few pieces, it's going a little easier. Alright, the next step, I think I'm going to do the back, or the left part. Okay? Alright, I spent about the last 4 hours turning this block of foam, it was about twice as long, into this. Not sure if I'm doing this right, but it looks good. I didn't glue all the pieces together all the way yet, so they're still pretty loose, but that's the mouth and the eyes. And the inside. I had a few ideas for the ears. Well, for my ears, I was going to put some little headphones in there, one in there, and I could hook it up to maybe a microphone or a telephone or music, depending on what I wanted to do. That way I could answer my phone in Suit, or I can hear people better with the microphone. I'd put the microphone maybe hidden behind the nose, but that way it could be amplified a little bit. Okay, let's take a look inside. Thought it'd be kind of neat to put a little clock up here, because when you're wearing it, you don't know what time it is. You can just look up and see what time it is. Breathe out the mouth. Okay. So, there you go. And I basically got from here. It's looking like it's similar. Okay, let's see what happens. Alright, I got one foot done. This is the left foot. And I'm just about to finish this one here. Sparkly pads. This took me a couple days. Taking a break from the head. And this is what I'm copying. So, a little bit bigger, but that's okay. Looks good. Alright, I finished my feet. They are very comfortable and cute. That's that shiny vinyl stuff that you see in old cars. And I cut it out for the paw pads. Gives me a little traction on hardwood floor. And another thing I did is I actually made the toes separate, so there's actually fur inside of there. I haven't seen anyone else do that, but that's how I did it. I like it that way. They're very heavy. I used a lot of hot glue to put the fur on, so they're very nice. And that's what I copied. So, a little bit bigger, but pretty much the same thing.